Israel set to hold murdered teenagers' funerals. Israel is preparing to hold the funerals of 3 teenagers who were abducted and murdered while hitchhiking in the occupied West Bank. Israel has blamed the Palestinian militant group Hamas for the deaths. Hamas has denied any involvement. The teenagers' bodies were found on Monday evening, more than 2 weeks after the youths went missing. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said Hamas will be made to pay a price for the killings. Overnight, Israel launched more than 30 air strikes on facilities linked to militant groups in the Gaza Strip after 18 rockets were fired into Israel since Sunday night, the Israeli military said. Mr. Netanyahu, who will attend the joint funeral held for Naftali Frenkel, Gilad, Shaar and Eyal Yifrach, said the teenagers had been kidnapped and murdered in cold blood by animal. The funeral will take place from 17:30 local time, 14:30 GMT at Modi'in Cemetery in central Israel. Modi'in, which is between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, is close to the boys' family homes. The teenagers' bodies were found under a pile of rocks near the Palestinian town of Eyal. An Israeli official said it appeared the youths had been shot soon after their abduction. Israeli troops flooded into Eyal after the discovery. Its Shin Bet security agency had named 2 Hamas members from Hebron, Eyal and Abducted, as suspects. The Israeli military raided the homes of both men, setting off explosives. Palestinian witnesses said Abducted's home was destroyed. Israel's overnight air raids on Hamas targets in Gaza were an immediate response to a wave of missile attacks launched from the Palestinian enclave since Sunday. They should not be seen as a definitive response to the abduction and murder of the 3 teenage boys whose fate has transfixed this country over the course of the last 2.5 weeks. In keeping with Jewish religious custom, the funerals will take place on Tuesday, and only when they have passed and the outpouring of national grief they will prompt has died down will Israel's government finalize its military and political plans. Having firmly focused the blame for the murders on Hamas, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will have to demonstrate to the Israeli public that his response will be calibrated to match the huge sense of anger and outrage that is felt here. In the past, Israel has used targeted missile attacks to kill senior members of militant groups, and it has the military capacity to target Hamas's stockpiles of missiles and rockets in a sustained campaign. And it will have a clear political goal too. Israel was angered by the creation of a Palestinian unity government which brought together Hamas with the Palestinian Authority, whose forces helped to look for the victims. Israeli security forces have set up blockades and closed down whole areas around Eyal, a few kilometers from where the teenagers were last seen. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas called an emergency meeting of the Palestinian leadership and has expressed regret for the deaths. The disappearance of the teenagers on June 12 sparked a huge search operation in Palestinian towns and cities across the West Bank. More than 400 Palestinians were arrested, while 5 were killed in fighting with Israeli troops. Mr. Netanyahu has said the incident is a consequence of the partnership between Hamas, which rejects Israel's right to exist, and the Fatah movement of Mr. Abbas. The 2 signed a reconciliation deal in April after years of division and formed a unity government last month.